If you want something you've never had, you gotta do something you've never done. Pen, notebook. We want to change. We want to be someone else. We want to do something else. We want to start tackling our fears. Always for the bedrock, we need to figure out what are our whys. Why do we want to change? Why do we want to do these things that we're scared of and propel ourselves forward? Why don't we just want to be stuck? And let's just start. I'm going to try to give some examples from my own life of my whys and the things I want to do. I'm going to try to not be oversharing because I don't think that's necessary. What I write down is just to be sort of a guide and show an example. So I'm going to think about the things I want for my career, and I'm going to think about the whys. Empower other women. I also want to increase my own income. Romanticize through content. This is my little why list. Your why list should be as deep as possible. Obviously, again, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, because this and that happened. Like, no. But dig as deep as you want. You can have superficial reasons. Some of my reasons are superficial. I think that's fine personally. And you can also have deeper reasons. Then write down 10 things you want to do that you are scared to do. That's what we're doing, right? You're scared to do something new. We're going to figure out what's up with that. What are new things you want to do? I'm going to say, and if you're watching this video, I'm sure you're shouting from the rooftops, do it, Zoe. Invest in an editor. Post more freely on Instagram. Take an improv class, network in Norway. Okay, so once you have the list of the 10 things you want to do that you know you want to do, write down your excuses for each one of them. Investing in an editor. My excuses, obviously, finances, that is it's pretty pricey, not gonna lie. Once you got your excuses, debunk every single one of your excuses. What if the vids aren't better? They will be. I'll learn to edit better. No, you won't. So as you can see from this portion, be brutal with yourself, and it may seem a little harsh, but it's for the best. Now we're going to go back to the list of the things we want to do. And we're going to look at what is the easiest and quickest thing we can do out of these. So for my list, I have invest in an editor, make healthier choices, date. I don't want to date in Norway, so I'm discounting that one. That's also one of my excuses, by the way. You probably catch that. I would say for me, honestly, the easiest thing to do, because it literally is just a transaction, is invest in an editor. So I'm going to reach out to an editor that I trust and get a video edited. And you can hold me to that. So I'll put a little heart next to this one, and I'm doing it. Choose the one that is easiest for you to do and do that one. Write it down in your calendar exactly when you're doing it, how you're doing it, prepare everything you need. If you need anything, you're doing it this week. The easiest thing of your 10 list item should definitely be something you can do this week. If not, your list is a little crazy. First of all, let's get you ready to do it. First, I want to look at mindset, because mindset is everything. We've already said that everything you want is right outside of your comfort zone, and you have really, really good reasons to do something new. But other than that, let me remind you of a few things that I think I've said in the past, which is like, hey, when you're doing something new, even if there aren't a lot of people in that room, let's say you're in a Pilates class for the first time, who all are also doing that for the first time, every single person in the room knows exactly what it feels like to be doing something new. And let's say in a Pilates class, and everyone there is super seasoned, I am sure they're all also new at something. Maybe someone there just started a new job and this is their comfort zone. Maybe they're taking a pottery class and they just came from the pottery class and they sucked at it, and now they're so glad to be here when they master it. And they might look at you and be like, oh, you're new. And you might feel like, oh, I'm so glad I'm not new, but I'm so glad this girl is here and she's trying something new. And most people love it when new people come into their territory. It's like, oh my God, yes, let me help you. Let me teach you. I think, for example, a lot of people might think that it's a little bit awkward to ask someone to help them with their school assignments. But every time someone I have a good relationship with at least ask me to look over their school assignment, I'm like jumping of joy. I'm like, yes, honestly, I would love that. Because for me, that's a way where I can use what I have to help someone have fun. And also, it's a very like chill way to be with someone because I feel so in my comfort zone. And I also like doing things where I'm outside of my comfort zone and the person is in their comfort zone. I feel like that's a really good dynamic. Obviously, it can be really, really cool to be new at something together, but it's also really cool to either help someone with something or get help from someone and just see them at their most comfortable when you're not, so that you feel that sort of energy of, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna try and this person knows what they're doing, so I'm fine. But it's really important to know that everyone is always new at something. So even if you feel like, oh my god, everyone here knows what they're doing and I don't, it's like they feel the exact same way at some point during that week as well. But you should never keep yourself from experiencing things just because they're new. Everything's new at some point. Like my aunt was saying, oh, I don't want to learn how to drive because I want to be good at something the moment I start. My mom was saying, hey, that's not possible. And I said to her, trust me, you feel safe in the car right now when I'm driving. You wouldn't have a year ago. And one of the reasons why she can feel safe in the car when I'm driving right now is because I feel safer when I drive, because I at some point decided like, hey, I'm gonna stop clamping up and I'm gonna start allowing myself to be new to driving and open to criticism, open to learning, open to making mistakes. The second I stopped being so harsh on myself for making mistakes and realized the only way to get good at driving is to make mistakes is the moment I started actually learning and getting closer to being good at driving. You have to allow yourself to make mistakes in order to learn something. Once you realize that, oh shit, I might make the ugliest painting ever, it's like, so what? Then I will, but I'm still painting, and that's how you end up making a beautiful painting. So yes, failing your way to success, which I've talked about a lot of times, but not just that. No one's really judging you. If they are, weird, because that's not normal. If someone is judging you for being bad at something you're new at, they are not just douchebags, but they feel bad about themselves, because that's just not normal. What is normal when someone is learning something is either to be like, oh, they're learning, or to be like, hey, you want assistance or not? To just offer at least. So those people who are around you when you're learning something, and especially your teachers, they're not judging you. I always used to think that my drivers and teachers were judging me. And it's like, why would they judge me? If I were already a perfect driver, they'd be out of a job. Also, sorry to say this and to burst your bubble, but you're not different. There's nothing wrong with you where everyone can do this, but I can't. I can't drive. I can't learn to paint. I can't learn French. That's just bullshit. It's the dumbest excuse ever, and I've used it for so long. Like my aunt even, sorry, I'm like spilling tea about my aunt, but it's because everything she was saying about not wanting to learn to drive is the exact same things as I've always said. So I used to say, oh, I don't think I'm the type of person who should drive. And she was saying the exact same thing. And I was like, sorry, but I was saying those exact same things and it's just an excuse. It feels real. It feels totally real. And you might even have reasons to feel that way, but it's just because you haven't done it. I realized at some point as an adult, because I used to always think, oh, I'm good at writing, I'm good at reading, I'm not good at practical things, I can't learn this, I can't learn that. At some point, I realized after, being on my own and doing things for myself and being the type of person who doesn't really want help, which is a character flaw, I realized that anything in the world you can actually learn. There are all these things I thought I couldn't learn, and then I just did. I mean, I painted this room and I think it looks good, and I never thought I would have been able to paint. I have fixed my sink and done all these practical things, and I'm the biggest book nerd in the world. I trip over my own feet all the time. If it was one thing I actually can't do, it's probably go a whole winter without tripping. I can't hardly go summer without tripping. I know I'm not the most naturally practical person, and that's true, but the idea that I couldn't learn practical things is just something I used as an excuse, and something that I used to define myself and that I almost took pride in, because it was like, oh, I know who I am. And it's like, maybe you didn't, because if you know who you are, you know that you can learn anything and that you can do anything. You have to just release every single idea that you're the type of person who can't do X, Y, and Z, because they're not true. In the right circumstances, we can do anything, and we can create those circumstances for ourselves just by being open to learning. A lot of times we actually subconsciously stop ourselves from learning something because knowing that thing doesn't fit with the image we have for ourselves, which is beyond ridiculous, but it's just because we humans are so scared of not being the person we think we are, but we need to start being more open to the possibility that we are more than we think we are. Then also, hey, what other people think of you is literally none of your business. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. People can judge you, people can look at you, people can scowl, people can talk behind your back. It doesn't impact your mental, physical, financial, or spiritual well-being unless you let it. Let's say you're ice skating and someone is talking behind your back and you don't know it. It won't impact your performance. However, let's say you're ice skating, you can see someone talking about you. That might make you feel bad about yourself. But a lot of times we think someone is talking about us and then that makes us feel bad. Like for me with Instagram, I post things and the second I post on Instagram, just know this, I envision people I know talking about me and judging me, which is so ridiculous. And then that impacts me emotionally. What if those people aren't talking about me and I'm just being sad for no reason? I mean, most likely it's that because I'm not that special. People I went to high school with's life don't revolve around me. A lot of them are married and have kids. They're not sitting around looking at my Instagram story. I mean, they are watching my Instagram story, but they're not like, oh my God, Zoe Robertson from high school posted something new. Ew, did you see that? What a tryhard wannabe. Like, people don't have a group chat about my Instagram, so why do I care? We make up these obstacles for ourselves. We envision the worst things. It might not even be happening. And if they are, the only consequence, the absolute only consequence people judging you can have on you is that you care. As long as you decide not to care, nothing happens. I think Nietzsche said this, if you think someone is ruining your life, you're right, and the person is you. The only person who can give any power or any legitimacy to any judgment upon you is truly yourself. One thing is, if someone's hiring you, if someone's paying you, if someone's giving you grades, those things do impact your life. But literally and basically any other circumstance, if someone is just snickering at your outfit, it can only impact your life if you let it. If you believe someone is ruining your life, you're right, the person is you. Don't let you ruin your life. And don't let some person from high school that you wouldn't even trade lives with make you feel bad about yourself. I've said this before too. We always think, oh, they are judging me. They are thinking this. Who are they? And look at they. As individuals, are those people you are so scared of judging you? I guess I could get that you feel a little bit bad if you embarrass yourself in front of Henry Cavill and Meryl Streep. But if you post a selfie that wasn't as cool as you thought and the only people who saw it were people you went to high school with, why do you care? That being said, I'm not trying to be holier than thou. I get why you care. It's because humans are pack animals. We naturally feel this, but we need to use logic to get out of it. Because even though we feel like we should care, we really shouldn't. It's just because our biology is literally mixing up us being cast out of society and starving to death in the woods with feeling bad because someone didn't like our Instagram picture. And now to the motivation portion of the video. You are not alive for other people. You are alive for you. You can live your entire life for other people, and in the end, you'll just sit there with maybe some awesome achievements that you don't necessarily care about, maybe or maybe not a lot of money, but you need fulfillment too. And can you imagine missing out on every single amazing accomplishment that you truly want in your life just because someone was judging you or someone wanted you to go into this and that career, and that person might not even be here anymore, or these people, or you might realize like, oh, these people were actually bad people, or these people like that, or even maybe they're the best people in the world but you're unhappy and you decided to spend your life on things that didn't truly matter just so that someone else would be happy, and now you're miserable and you're left with all the consequences and none of the deciding power. That would suck. And if you want to take a pottery class, you should take a pottery class, and not just because it would be ridiculous not to take a pottery class just because you're afraid of starting something new, but also because the more new things you do, The more scary things you do, the more things outside of your comfort zone you do, the more you'll expand your comfort zone to include things you haven't even tried yet. The more you meet new people and try new things, the more you get used to doing those new things. And I guarantee you, if you start working on this list of 10 things you want to do and start with the easiest things and work yourself down, everything on the list will become less and less scary. You will just get used to the sensation of being the new person or doing something else or doing something you don't feel confident in, and you'll start to feel confident in not being confident in what you're doing. The more classes you sign up for, the more auditions you take, the more you go out and meet new people, the more that will feel like the norm. You have to start by pushing yourself, and eventually you won't have to push yourself as much to get out of the door and go to a new class as you did. It won't even take nearly as long as you think. Your entire life trajectory can be different, and you can have everything you want in your life just by starting to do these dumb little things that you're scared of for no reason that aren't that scary. They'll just make you feel more confident in doing the big things that truly, truly matter, and that will change your life. So start today by sending that message, signing up for that class, or going on that hike, and eventually you'll find yourself pursuing that dream career, pursuing that dream person, building that house, doing all these gigantic, truly scary things. And not only will you find yourself doing these things, you'll find that they're not that scary after all, and you'll find that you're so much more confident in yourself and your abilities, even abilities to do things you haven't tried yet, because you'll just know, hey, I'm the type of person that can truly do anything as long as I have the right why. Take care, see you soon, and just go kick ass, literally. Bye.